Question 8 is a bit more of a practical uses type of question. So we're asked for 2 uses of infrared radiation. Many possible answers available here. Some of the ones the mark scheme suggests are things like remote controls. Those come up a lot in text. Or you could have sensors or alarms of sorts. You can have thermal imaging. That's a big application of infrared. You can also have, some appliances, as long as you're specific about what these electrical appliances do. So lots of options here. The examiner will definitely use their judgment as to whether or not it makes sense. Like if you write something like, I don't know, shampoo, obviously that doesn't. So just, as long as it makes sense, you'll do well in this category. Make sure that it is relevant to IR, not, for example, microwave. Just keep that in mind. Next, we move on to X-rays. Here, we're not looking for a use of X-rays, but rather we're told the use of the X-ray, which is hospitals for imaging. And now we want to use our knowledge of X-rays and of safety from X-rays to give 3 examples of how you can stay safe when using X-rays for imaging in a hospital. So there's 5 ideas given in the mark scheme. You only have to give 3. So the first refers to the operator. So you want to shield the operator either by using a screen or a lead apron, or by, usually you'll notice they'll leave the room. And all of this is done with the purpose of absorbing the X-rays, not the person, but the material absorbing the X-rays. Or likewise, you could say the same thing. Rather than for an operator, you could change that to be for the patient. That could be a second point. Or instead of shielding, you can always increase the distance between the person and the source. So an increase in distance will be, it's right here on source, will work because you are reducing the the exposure or the intensity of the X-rays received. Likewise, you can limit the time. Limit time or limit the strength of your source. And both of them, again, in order to limit or to reduce the dose received, or how much you're receiving. So for all of these examples, you'll notice that in order to get the mark, you need to say what you're doing, but also why you're doing it. Right, so either to reduce exposure, reduce the dose, absorb the X-ray. So that's kind of the key to this question, is not just what you're doing, but why you're doing it. And if you're not sure why you have to say both of these things, it's actually in the command words. So suggest and explain. So suggest essentially is what should we do? Explain is, well, why are we doing it? Why is this effective? So I guess I should probably highlight with yellow because we coded that as yellow. So suggest is yellow, explain is in red. Now the speed of these in a vacuum, microwaves and X-rays, are both part of the EM spectrum, which means they're both types of light. So both of them should travel at the speed of light, which is 3 × 10⁸ meters per second. Don't forget your units, otherwise it's not a speed. So you need both of these numbers to be correct, both of the units to be correct, 1 mark each. And a possible frequency of ultrasound. Remember that the word ultra means higher than. So ultrasound is beyond the sounds or the frequencies that humans can hear. So humans have 20 to 20K hertz of a range. So anything greater than 20K hertz. So you could say even 21,000 or 20,001 or 50,000, whatever. Anything bigger than that is